A while back, one of my YouTube subscribers asked me to give my opinion about this Dewalt planer since I've owned it now for, I think, going on about a year. I haven't run a lot of wood through it, but the blades are probably the only real concern I have with this machine. It didn't take maybe about 100 board feet through the planer, and I was getting nicks, and you could see the grooves on the finished pieces, what I thought were finished pieces that had to be sanded off. And that's not to say that you're not going to have to sand anyway, but it's just you'd want those. In the ideal world, you'd want that, a board coming out with basically no ripple and no little grooves on your pieces. So I'm going to take the blades out of this. I'll do a video showing what these look like as opposed to a new one. Well, this isn't a blade changing video, but one thing I would recommend is, yeah, they give you a nice tool here, to loosen up the bolts that hold that in there, but get yourself a screwdriver and get up on top here so you can spin these things out a little easier. Alright, out with the old, in with the new. This is the first time I've ever had the blade out of my planer. I was rather shocked, I guess, by how thin this thing is. It's just a hair under 60 thousandths thick, which is less than a 16th. And there's not a lot of metal behind that edge, so I can understand why this thing gets nicked up so easily. So I'm gonna put this one in, but I just wanted to run that fact by you too. These things are very thin. Yes, they're two-sided, but that has a lot of bearing on why this thing is not holding an edge that long. Not to mention probably the quality of the steel being used as well. Another thing I'm doing here is I'm taking these blades out, is I'm putting a mark on the side that has been used, so I have a reference. And this is blade number 2 that's come out. And then for those of you who don't like to read manuals, if you're a lot like me, but on this side you can't see it, but there's a spring-loaded safety switch that you depress to rotate the carriage that holds the blades. So push it down, and then you can turn your carriage to access the next blade. One last thing I do, I don't know if you can see that or not because of the glare, but right here I wrote, this is the number 3. Third blade change. The other 2 are marked 1, 2, obviously. So that just, so if you happen to flip this the wrong way or forgot which way we're going, well, as long as you start with 1 and end up on 3, you'll not have to do anything over. So I'm gonna. Okay, here's my case. I made a note on my case that the dash is the used side, and that's how they'll slide in there. But before I do that, I want to take my Pro Scope, and I'll just examine one of these blades to see what kind of an edge, what the edge looks like after. Alright, a couple things before I shoot this video of the blade. I did it once and had some trouble with the blade sliding on me, this little leg catching on these holes. So I think I've got that under control. And the other thing I've done is tape the blade down so it doesn't move, and cleaned it. Okay, this is blade number 1, the used side. I'm about 2 inches in and got a little nick right there. A little bit bigger one right there. A couple of good sized ones. Sliding down now about 3 inches in. Small nicks. You can see that edge is just ragged. There's a beauty. That's about 4 inches in. Couple little ones, 5 inches in. More little ones. Another good size gouge. This would explain the results I was getting with my pieces. There's my mark about halfway. Look at the size of that one. Youch. Some more little ones. That's a good sized nick right there. 2/3 of the way now. I don't think I'll be spending any time trying to sharpen these edges. It'd be a complete waste of time. Look at that one. Another one. Got about 20% of the blade to go here. Little nick there. Some more small ones. That's just debris there. That's the end of that side. Let me do the good side and we'll see what how that compares. Same blade, unused edge. Trying to go rather quickly here. I don't see anything. Some pits in the metal right there, I guess. That's not the greatest. A little bit of a bad edge right there. That's about 3 inches in is all. Some more pitting or rough edge. Another little nick. That's a pretty good sized nick, I would say. Unless that's debris on there. That could be just debris. It probably is. Yeah, that's just debris. So in conclusion, would I buy this planer again? Yes. Would I buy their blades? No. I'm going to look into buying that infinity blade, carbide tipped. I've got a few more edges to use here, 3 edges on the sets of blades I have. But I'm not going to be using them as long as I did that first side. If I see results I'm not happy with, I'm going to swap them out and burn up those 3 edges a lot quicker than I did the first edge, and then look to invest in those infinity blades. Yes, they're more expensive, but all the reviews I've read, they seem to be the way to go. Guys are very happy with them, so I think I will be too. So anyway, it's a good machine, horrible blades. So thanks for watching.